character, Johnny Archer, who's raring to break off with the Scorpion break-off cue. Is this this is carbon fibre wrapped around wood, carbon fibre completely? What do you know about it?
Yeah, it is. It is a carbon fibre wrapped around wood cue. It's just for the break cue. Now his playing cue has a regular wood shaft.
It looks well, I don't know what it looks like. Solid break. He'll be happy with that. Will he be happy with the outcome?
I think so. He's got a shot on the 1, and the cue ball is going to be headed down table towards where the 2 awaits.
Yes, he's a bit close to the 1 for judging the angle as well as he would like, but somehow he should be able to manoeuvre this cue ball down towards the blue 2. I wonder whether the break-off cue, I assume that Johnny Archer endorses a cue that's carbon shafted to, and you know, for the financial implications of that. Is he happy with that cue, do you know?
Oh, he helped design it. Johnny likes a break cue where the weight is pretty heavy in the handle, in the butt. And he feels that you get a lot more force in the break with the weight back there, and that's what he's designed. It's a real hammer.
That was an excellent shot there. Once again, a very missable shot made to look easy. But then you would expect it's the World Championship. You don't get mugs in at this level. They tried in the world of snooker to introduce carbon shafted cues, even carbon wrapped around the wood inside. They've never took off, and we're still with plain old wood with a plain leather tip, and nobody's invented anything better.
The fact that we're with a leather tip after 100 years is amazing to me. It does seem like there'd be a synthetic rubber available that would not have to require chalk. But we're the same way in pool. You know, we're still with the wood shafts for most cues. Now, there are a few cues out there that have fiberglass shafts that have sold quite well, but they haven't taken off the way that we had thought they would 4 or 5 years ago. We thought that wood would be gone by now, the way it has gone away in golf.
Well, he's back with his regular cue, and he has made a small positional mistake from 2 to 3, and not running through the balls, or not presented with a rack that's an easy run out. He's now got some sort of very sharp, difficult screw back to get as close to that middle pocket as possible without going anywhere near it. That could be said.
You know, the
5, he's going to collide into the 9. He's not going to be absolutely sure of how they're going to come out. He's got to be careful of hitting the 9 and going and scratching in the corner pocket.
The scratch is the big danger that looms here. That 9 ball is going to send the cue ball right toward the corner. If he can screw into the 9 ball so that when the 9 ball arrives after potting the 5, it's got backspin, then you can come off the side cushion and then screw back down the table. Yeah, just to avoid potting the cue ball. Yeah, what Steve is describing is coming into the 9 with a little bit of draw English and then coming back out to center table.
You've made a hat. That's marvelous.
Wasn't an art major, you know.
Well, he didn't have to.
Wow.
I thought it was guaranteed to collide into the 9.
Yeah.
All that for nothing.
I know, such a pretty picture, all for waste.
Yeah, sitting in the studio watching on the television here, it looked certain that he had to have some sort of contact on the 9 there, just tucking his shirt in. Of course, in a club atmosphere, fouls wouldn't matter, but mustn't touch the 9.
The game is best analyzed from the table, but they won't let us out there.
I go out there occasionally, Jerry, and it's much harder out there than it is in here. Trust me.
You always look like you're having a pretty good time out there, Steve.
I do enjoy it. It's marvellous. So Archer getting himself back into this game after one very, very easy miss by the magician. 3-2, and Archer breaks.
There we go. All that because Efren Reyes got a little sloppy with a shot into the side pocket, and Johnny Archer is going to make him pay.
Multi-format table situation, 4 matches this afternoon. We know it's 8-all. Petroni against Morris. Come on, put us out of our misery. Oh, it's still going on. Petroni's at the table. He broke off in this rack. Oh!
If he leaves that ball over the side pocket, he's, well, Can you imagine the feeling going through his heart?
That was a big mistake. A ball that he would have expected to have got a lot of the time. 9 out of 10 at least. In practice, 10 out of 10, perhaps even 11.
Rodney Morris, the 1996 U.S. Open champion.
Look, these. Well, there's a. Yeah, I don't exactly know what that was, but I don't think it was good.
Well, he
He's
doesn't.
got a problem with this shot. That's why he sort of thinks that he should have been left an easier shot. I mean, but at least he's back at the table.
Yeah, he ought to be just thankful that he's the one at the table. At least he has control. Now, he's a very aggressive player. He's not the kind to go for a safe. And as you can see,
what a bank shot that was.
He still has a problem, though, Steve. That 9 ball's right where he would like to send the cue ball through. Instead, he's going to have to draw off to the side rail and out to the 5.
Well, he looks like he may have wrested control of this frame from Petroni, but Johnny Archer, once again,
trailing by 3 racks to 2.
using the black mamba.
Don't worry, we'll keep you posted on the results upstairs, but we do want to come back here to watch Johnny break off this rack.
Hitting a ball with a dead snake. Should be cruelty to animals.
Black is the end color now, or the
Got his whole
lack
bridge
of
hand
color.
on the table there. Sorry to interrupt there.
That's all right.
Whole bridge hand on the table rather than using the rail. That's different, isn't it?
That's very different.
Most players use the rail to bridge over and put fingers over the top of the cue, but Johnny just had his bridge in place there.
Well, maybe he feels that he can put the cue ball a little bit further off the rail and still get a good result.
Most players seem to break from the other side of the table. I mean, both players have decided to use this side of the table. Now, what do they know that we don't?
I don't know, because the table was breaking well from the other side in previous days, but Efren broke from this side and was successful. So you've got to follow that lead.
Obviously, Efren broke from that side because his chair was closer to that side and he couldn't really be bothered to walk over the other side because he fancies he can make balls from everywhere.
As good a reason as any.
I'm pleased I've got that right.
Archer has a little bit of a problem here, Steve. He's got to get around some traffic to get on that 2 ball. Oh, well, that. Oh, yes, okay. He made the 7. I thought for a moment that the 1 ball had stayed up. Oh, well.
Well, he's in good position if he can draw back straight to where that cue ball is now, perhaps. Or he could draw back and make the 2-3 combination. Combination, even. There's a combination.
I don't think he wants to play either the combination or the combination.
Whichever one.
He'd rather stay with just shooting balls in one at a time.
Okay. Now it looks quite easy, if there is such a thing as easy in the Empire Poker World Pool Championship. Plop the 2 ball in, remain on the 3 ball, but not dead straight on it, so that somehow you can manoeuvre the cue ball up the table for the 4 that's close to the 9. If you don't know the order of the balls left on the table, and they're not always in the same order, it depends which ones go down off the break. Look at the bottom of the screen and you will see the remaining balls left on the table and the order that they have to be potted in. Hence, after the 6 ball, it becomes the 9 ball.
A little bit of traveling to do with the cue ball on this shot. He would like it to have gone considerably further. Now, I'm not going to say that he's going to run into the 9 ball after this shot because we got in trouble last time.
No, he won't. No, he won't at all. He'll be able to screw around the back of the, draw the ball around the back of the 5 and bring it out into open table play.
2 rails and out. Keeps him in the line of position.
And notice any budding 9 ball players, how the top players try to plant that cue ball in the centre of the table. And it always means you have options of shots. So if every time you put the white ball in the centre of the table, you're likely to be on the ball that's next. Oh, that was a bit tricky. He's upset with that one. He's hampered. Great word, that, isn't it? He's hampered.
He is hampered. And that shot didn't sound good. It was like he didn't make good solid contact. Perhaps the Q-tip was slipping off the cue ball.
Hitting down on the ball, slightly more difficult to judge the side spin you may have to put on.
Pretty darn good shot under the pressure that Johnny must be feeling now playing Efren. But with this shot, Steve, he's going to tie this match up, and our race to 9 becomes a race to 6.
How quickly this match turned around after one mistake from Efren Reyes. It's 3-3 Johnny Archer. And Johnny Archer, the man that just scraped through into the second phase of this qualification, is now looking like he may be the psychological favourite.
Back downstairs, Johnny Archer's been spending a lot of time on the pool table.
Last 3 racks have gone his way. Solid break. Desperately looking to see where the 1 ball goes, and he'll be very delighted to see it go over that corner pocket with what looks like a relatively easy shot for the 3 ball, which has become the next ball. I think the 2 went in. There it comes.
There you see Johnny, when he breaks, he tends to throw the cue stick through the cue ball. Generates a lot of force that way, and he's going to like everything on this table except the 4 ball. That's the one he's got to travel to.
The only problem, if there is, and it's not, well, in potting the 1 ball, I don't know whether he can slide across the face of the 3 for the other corner. If not, he's going to have to play the cue ball down into the corner to play the long 3 up the table. He could play the 2 cushion to get to that middle of the table and play for where on the snooker table would be the blue spot. But then look at the next ball, which is the 4. That's in a tricky position. A little bit of work to do.
Looks like he's queuing up for that 2 rails. That's where he's going, Steve.
Yeah, I think that was the best option, really, wasn't it? Now he's going to have to play. Well, this is not an easy shot now. He's going to have to play to screw, to put backspin on the 3 ball with right hand spin to bring the cue ball back across to the same side of the table, but try to somehow avoid scratching in the middle pocket. These can go astray.
It is a difficult shot. He sure doesn't want to turn this table back over to Efren Reyes. If he gets on this 4 ball, he's in good shape. He has to avoid the side.
Well, that was an excellent shot. There was a bit of danger there. So close to that middle pocket. And once again, I do apologise for repeating myself, but on the snooker circuit, everybody says to me, well, how do you play that game? It's simple. The pockets are massive. They're also massive for when you go and scratching in off.
And Johnny had some very unfortunate luck. Here you see Reyes, by the way,
squirming
his time,
squirming in his chair after missing that orange 5. That was the last shot Reyes played.
As I was saying, Johnny's had some unfortunate luck earlier in the week with scratches. He's really sent a lot of cue balls down into the bottom of the pocket. So maybe that's all out of his system now.
Maybe, and maybe a player who is given a lifeline goes on to win a tournament. A bit early days, I know, but...
Well, he's got to feel like he's here almost as a gift. So why not just relax and enjoy it? Archer just plotting the path of the cue ball here off the rail. The 6 ball lays down table really very, very open for him. And things are going well in Johnny's life, by the way. He's very happy. His new wife, well, he's been married to Melanie now for almost a year next month, and they've just found out that she'll be giving birth next spring. There's Melanie. She's probably got, she's probably much more fearful than Johnny.
Yes, she's got morning jet lag at the moment.
Archer checking out the path that cue ball is going to take to get back on the 7. And this will be, if he completes this rack, this will be his first lead of the match. And he'll have sent a strong message over to the other chair.
Strange situation to find yourself in as one of the outstanding players of the group phase, swanning through every match, to find yourself top of your group. The reward should be a weaker player. Who do you get?
Johnny Archer. Well, and Reyes has stated openly he's determined to win this tournament. And this is one of the handful of guys in the world that are a big threat to Efren Reyes. And that threat just took the lead 4-3.
Not just one of the players who can beat him, more one of the players that Efren knows can beat him. Obviously, he could be in a situation against the likes of me and come unstuck, as did happen a couple of years back. And anybody can lose to anybody at this game over a shorter distance. But not just that, a player that perhaps that Efren fears a bit. And he knew when he missed that 5-ball how important it could have been. Because you know full well from the expression on his face afterwards, he didn't laugh and joke it off. He knew it could be a turning point. He's played Johnny Archer before. He knows if you open the door for Johnny Archer, he gets back in. So Efren was very frustrated when he missed that 5.
Yeah, usually when Efren misses, he just tugs at the back of his shirt and grins a little bit, maybe shrugs and walks off.
He knows he's not going to get hurt by the other guy, but this is different. Archer, the Scorpion, lining up from exactly the same place with exactly the same break-off, same cue.